Hey, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Talk Tuesday, where I go live here every week to bring you expert advice so you can have a better business and a better life. And last week, I put out a call for speakers. So if you are a coach, a consultant, a course creator, a speaker, a healer, someone who has expert knowledge to share, then I want you to know that I'm looking for you, and my audience wants to hear from you too. So make sure that you reach out to me if you would love to be interviewed on Talk Tuesday, like my friend Jennifer here, which we will get to in just a moment. But what I really want to know is if you have something that you really on your heart that you'd love to share, you've got valuable information to provide, then let's get on a call, see if my audience is a really good fit for you, and let's feature you on Talk Tuesday at a Talk Tuesday near you. My commitment is that I'm going live every single week again. I kind of resurrected the Talk Tuesday. I was doing it alone, solo for a while. And would you agree, sometimes going solo can be a little hard, right? I was always having to come up with all the content on my own. And now I'm going to bring on amazing experts to help me provide content and bring you great resources at the same time. So if you'd like to do that, hit me up. You can find me at The Real Kim Day on all my social channels, and let's get on a call and chat. But without further ado, let's introduce to you today my repeat guest and amazing friend, Jennifer Hart. She is so amazing. Jennifer and I met at a personal development seminar way back now. We're talking pre-COVID times when we used to get together and do all of these experiences live. And it's starting to come back to live events now, right? So, and we've got a really special one to share with you in a moment. And Jen's a really just a fabulous, fabulous woman. She's a lifelong learner like me, an adventurer and a traveler like me. She is super passionate about spirituality and really dedicated to transformation and her own journey of spirituality and personal development. And Jen told me a story, which I thought was really important to share. You know, back in the day, she had made a bucket list when she was turning 30, and it changed her life in ways that she could not even imagine. In hindsight, it was actually her kind of spiritual awakening that reconnected her with her authentic self, with others, with the universe. And as she went on this journey, she realized quickly how much her biggest accomplishment transpired from her bucket list adventures. When she left the corporate life, she was in aerospace quality assurance, like not spiritual at all, right? An auditor. She sold all her stuff to travel the world with no plans, limits, or expectations. And now she is here helping others along their spiritual journey to connect with their soul. She's a connector herself. And in fact, she's the founder of the Connected Soul Network, which is a membership and community where she pairs guides and mentors with people who are seeking spiritual growth. So, Jen, I'm so excited to have you on the show today, and my first back to interview style Talk Tuesday. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to be here. I always love getting on interviews with you. We've done a ton on my platform. You can check them out because if you're watching this, you're obviously a Kim Day fan like I am. She's fabulous and so magnetic. And thanks for having me as your first guest. I'm super excited to be here.
You are so welcome. And if you are watching whatever platform you're on, drop a comment, say hi, let us know your name, where you're watching from. I promise I'm going to be chatting with you in the chat. So we'd love to know who is watching and who's paying attention. So Jen, we're here to talk a little bit about how, connecting to yourself, connecting to your spirituality, connecting to source, and connecting to community and others is really a powerful tool, and almost, if you will, the secret sauce when you want to have success in whether it's your business, right? Your relationships, your health, your wealth, really just in life in general. So, you've been doing this for a while. So if somebody's kind of new to their spirituality, or if you're a seasoned veteran, like, why don't you tell me a little bit about, how maybe expand upon your story about how you got doing this and some of the strengths that you think you bring to the table that make you this amazing guide of people's connections and souls.
I love that. So when you were talking about the bucket list, I was like, yes, like that's what this is all about. That's what this live is about. It's saying yes to adventure. It's saying yes to fun, to life. So I was in a place, I was a debt collector and I was at a dead end job. I knew I didn't want to go any further up the management chain. And I just was like, there has to be more to life. Like I knew from a child that I was destined to do something big to impact the world and to help others. I didn't know what, no idea. But I was here about to turn 30 at the time. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? I'm living in Groundhog's Day. If you've seen that movie, this guy just keeps waking up in the same day over and over until he makes different decision, changes his outlook on life, finds the gratitude, the love, and the joy. And so I wrote down, I was like, there's so many things I've always wanted to do and never done. And I just say, talk, 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 talk. I don't do. So I wrote them all down and I was like, here we go. So I just started to have fun. What happened was that I started bringing people together to have fun with me. I've always been a gatherer and a connector since I was young. And I was like, hey, everyone, here's my bucket list, 30 things I want to get done before I turn 30. Who wants to come? People are going, me. And so I was bringing together strangers. Sometimes people knew each other. We went skydiving, learned how to shoot a gun, went speed dating. I went on a cruise, brought 31 people for a birthday cruise for my 30th birthday cruise. I generated and set up a flash mob, got my friends together. We made a dance. We put it on YouTube. We had practices. And then I held a Dirty 30 Jungle Boogie birthday bash and we performed the flash mob. Like these were on my bucket list. And then I was like, but wait, I wanted to do a flash mob and that was cool. But then I was like, I feel like I didn't satisfy it. So then when I moved to San Diego, I did an actual real flash mob, like just random on the street, like all these super fun, cool things. What happened was I look back and see it was my spiritual awakening. I was getting to know myself. I was discovering what I like, what I don't like. There's things on that bucket list I never achieved. And it's because they weren't really connected to me. I was doing them because I should do them, because other people said I should do them. Like run a marathon. Like, I don't really want to do that. I took that off. I learned how to salsa dance, just so much fun stuff. I started living life and saying yes and meeting new people. And every time I showed up somewhere, it was divine. I really believe in the signs and the synchronicities. The Alchemist is my absolute favorite book, of the universe always conspiring for us in our favor, especially when we know what we want, but being able to listen to those breadcrumbs and to be able to like hear them. So in hindsight, because I know you're taking tons of notes over there, so I'll give you a chance to chime in. I look back and it was my spiritual awakening, and it really started me on my personal development journey and to look into myself. I eventually moved to San Diego, which had been like a 10-year dream. And then that led me to selling all of my stuff and traveling the world with no plans, limits, or expectations. And that was such a magical thing for someone who is a recovering control freak like myself, to be able to just show up and be present and connect and be with nature and all the other travelers and people that I met. And then really with myself too, because I was by myself a lot of the times. And so I really got to know myself in those moments.
Oh my God. Yes, I am. As you can see, taking like massive notes. I've got a hand cramp. One of the other things I love about you, Jen, is that you talk about as fast as I do. So if you're paying attention, folks, she talks fast. You got to listen faster. Just like me. So I'm like, I'm going to have to go rewind and go back to some of those nuggets. But what I really heard there is, and again, if you're listening and tuning in right now, whether you're live or on the replay, have you ever felt like you're stuck in a dead end job? Groundhog's Day, maybe. I was the dead end job, but maybe that's not your where you're feeling stuck. But maybe you are. Maybe you're in a cubicle and you've always wanted to break free and have a job as an entrepreneur and own your own business. Maybe you've been struggling with, your weight or your health in some sort of way, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you just want vibrant health in your future. whatever it is, whatever you're stuck in. Maybe you're, struggling with a spouse or your kids, and your communication sucks, and you're always fighting, and you're just looking for a way to, change that experience for yourself. And what if there was a way to do it? What if there was a way to, get reconnected? I read something somewhere. You mentioned a bunch of books too. I got to go back to, and The Alchemist, and I know we read a lot of the same stuff, but it's like, to move forward, you almost have to look inward, right? It's that, what are we doing on the inside to nourish our soul, to get transformation within before we can transform our outer world. So I just love what you're doing, Jen. You're just amazing. And your connected network is just fabulous. Why don't you explain to people a little bit more about that, and the importance of, connecting, and how that helps somebody have the transformation? Because I think we all have been hearing a lot about spirituality and enlightenment and connecting to earth and connecting to source and all this stuff, but not everybody understands what that means. What's the result of when you're getting connected, how it shows up and manifests itself in your results on the outside world?
Great question. So I was actually going to say, like, to add on to the bucket list, like what it transpired into was when I came back from my travels, I said, I'm not going back to the corporate world where I was not feeling fulfilled. Like, that is my life's purpose, is to feel fulfilled. I am so grateful for that job. I learned so much, and it is in all of my work now. So I know that it served a purpose. But I ended up deciding I was going to become an entrepreneur. And after another 5-6 years of bringing all of these visions and explorations of what I want to create and trying different things, that I finally realized that what I'm meant to do is create a network. And I created a network that services explorers, which is who I was when I started that journey. Someone that just was looking to consume content, have fun, be with others, and support for my spiritual journey and also my personal development journey. And then now I have guides, who is who I am now, guiding others along the way. That's coaches, therapists, healers, any type of practitioners, or anybody that's on the path also that helps others. They've stepped into their soul's calling and their mission, and they help others do the same. So that's what the network is. And we do different types of, I love to do interviews. Kim's always on my platform. We have a good time. Like she said, we both talk a mile a minute, and together we're like, woo! Our energy is through the roof, and it's such a good time. And that's what I'm about. Like, fun is definitely one of my values. So I'm always about having fun, and also authenticity. So like, when you're hanging out with me, things are going to be real. Like, I mess up on my lives all the time. And I think it's really important to show those things, to bring back to life, like, who we are as humans. And part of the journey of being a human is messing up, whether it's in life or it's in business. It's what we do after that is what's the most important thing, right? And then we have events. So you okay over there?
I just boxed myself. Yeah, see, like, we all just mess up.
Yeah.
Anyways,
thank you, universe, for just bringing me up in real time right now. But yeah, and we do events. So we have a bunch of reoccurring events to support the explorers in their journey, and then also to support guides in their business. That's really important, because guides need that support in business and in life, as do the explorers in life, to be able to move forward, to become their best and highest self, to learn, to grow, to heal. And then we have events that we open up to the guests as well. And we serve the community in different ways. We have a Facebook group. So if people aren't part of the network, they could be a friend of the network, and we're still here to support them as well. Because my personal mission is that if we really step into and look at ourselves and how we can improve, we can heal, we can learn and grow, we create this powerful ripple effect of those around us that may never, ever step into the personal development journey, just by us being able to be more grounded, be more present, be a better communicator, heal those little trigger wounds that we have, so that we can show up and be our best and highest, but also we can show up the best for the other people, and we can learn the tools to, reduce our stress, and have emotional healing. On my personal journey, gosh, I've had so much stuff come through. Like, when we went to the event that we were at together, one of many, those were very healing events that I was able to be there with people. And then that support piece comes in, to not do it alone, to have others on the journey with you, and to be able to have those bonds, that safety, that trust. Like that's one of the biggest pieces of the network, is to create a safe environment for people to come and explore and break down, get advice, whatever it is that they need. And the source piece is that, you know, we're all connected to this higher power, whatever you might call it. And if you don't believe in that, that's okay too. Like that's what your belief is. And you would be the higher power then, right? Because you make all your decisions for yourself. So having that connection to the source is like our connection all to each other. And then nature plays into that as well, and how it's so grounding and healing. But that's like our guiding star of like when we're connected to the source, we're getting those nuggets, like I said earlier, the breadcrumbs of what is like the best path for us to do. And we always have free will, so you don't have to follow any specific path. You always have a choice. But if you really, really tap in, you are so beautifully guided, which I experienced the alchemist myself on my travel journey. Every single place that I showed up to, it was guided to me by someone else. Someone told me where to go, gave me a recommendation. I'm getting chills talking about it. When I showed up, I had a free place to stay. Maybe I met a person that got me on a journey somewhere. Like it was magical. And that's what happens when we connect to source. And then those people are the support system to help and hold us along the way. And sometimes the support can literally be a one-time conversation with someone on, like when I was in London, they call it the tube. You know, talking to one person on the tube recommends a book to you, changes your life. Bam, you're married with kids and you got a whole new career. You know, you just don't know.
I love that whole idea of tapping into the magic and of source of the earth. And I love that you've used your whole analogy, because your journey started with the bucket list and with traveling, and you've kind of weaved the magic of travel within your marketing. Because of course I'm the business, like I'm always thinking from the business side, but I love that you've got, the explorers and the guides, and you weave this theme of travel and magic and fun into your copy. And I just got the goosebumps saying that. I'm talking right down my legs, like, because it's just totally embodies who I know you to be, which brings it right back around full circle to what is your life's purpose, and why aren't you, if you're not doing something that fills your cup and puts you like you're living in your purpose and fulfills you, right? We weren't designed to just live a mediocre life. We were designed with greatness in us, with gifts and medicine, and you need to let that come out. So Jennifer, I know you have a really magical travel experience that you have to share for people who are, if you're watching this and you're tuning in and you're thinking, oh my God, I love Jennifer's vibe. I love her fun, authentic, mystical, but like protective kind of self, right? Because you hold this space of safety and trust and community and connectedness. So if you're vibing with what Jennifer's got going on, I want to share with you I'm not going to share it with you. She's going to share it with you, but a really magical experience that the Connected Work Network and some of the guides that she is connected to have planned coming up. So Jennifer, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Mount Shasta experience?
Yeah. So when I started the network in October, it is more so November of 2022, it's all been online. And because that's what we were transitioning to. And I have global networks. So I have people from all over the world that are in the network right now. We had a lot of talk about like, oh, we should do an in-person event. And I have pods of people. Well, one pod of people that I have is in the Mount Shasta area. So I talked to a guide there and she's like, Jen, let's set up. I had said I wanted to do a meetup there. And what was going to just be like maybe a one-day meetup or something. I've never been to Mount Shasta. It's been calling me. My friend lives there. She's been inviting me and like, Jen, it's the most magical spiritual place. You have to come. So it was meant to be just like a one small meetup, and it turned into this 3.5-day event. I'm like, go big or go home, right? So all of a sudden now I'm putting on our very first in-person event for the network. It's in the magical Mount Shasta of California. If you are not familiar with it, Google it. It has seriously like magical properties. It's been on Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, talking about all of the spiritual phenomenons that's been there. It has magic water that runs through. I don't know the science of it. Please Google it. That's not my area of expertise. If you watch the video on the page that we're going to share, you can, Lori, who is an expert in that type of stuff, she shares about it. But it's the root chakra of the world. So if you're familiar with the chakras, they're the 7 energy sensors that run down our body as humans, and the world has a chakra system also. And the root chakra is the grounding, the security, the also financial, and getting to know ourselves and being rooted and secure in that. And that's what Mount Shasta is, being the root chakra of the world. So I am saying this because people are just drawn to Mount Shasta. It's like calling them. And I keep getting people messaging me and they're like, Mount Shasta is calling me. Listen to the calling. So it's magic in just being there and doing nothing else with it. What we have done is we have curated a 3.5 day morning to evening, full day of events where we're going to visit awesome places. I made a list because there's so many of them. We're going to get sacred water to drink that is literally from the springs directly. And the place itself, I've heard, is just a very sacred experience to be there and being in that energy. We're going to visit Castle Lake, Heart Lake, Fairy Falls, the Nay Springs Bathhouse. We're going to hang out and go to Lake 𝐂𝐶𝐒𝐿. We're going to go to Bunny Flats, Horse Camp, and Sand Flats. So those are some of the places we're going to go to on this journey. What we're going to be doing is kayaking, paddleboarding. We are going to rent and be on a pontoon boat. That is just super fun in itself. I love it personally. We're going to have a special quantum sacred cacao ceremony that includes breath work with 𝐂𝐶 from the Feathered Sage. She's a guide in the network, and her business partner, Jen Hansen-Silva from Conscious Balance, also a guide in the network. All the network guides that are going to be participating will be contributing different things in different ways. We still have some of that in the works, so there's going to be surprise things happening. And we're going to have a separate sound bath. We're going to do some ecstatic dancing, swimming in the sacred waters. We're going to have a fire ceremony, chill out at the music at the park and get that music in our system. And then we'll be doing a sacred circle, crystal communications, cosmic connections, walking the land, looking for auras, ceremonial purification, a letting go ceremony, of course, intention setting and calling in all of the things that we want to bring into our lives, crystal grids, card readings, the list goes on, right? I could keep going, but I just want to say those are just some of the things we're going to be doing. And we've put this all together so you just show up and that's it. And we are also going to be including the breakfast and lunch for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's July 20th to the 23rd. It's going to be magical. And the people that it's calling in are all beautiful, heart-centered people that are looking to have this spiritual transformation and just detoxification of the fast-paced lives that we're living these days, really bringing it back to the basics, getting grounded, getting in touch with ourselves, in touch with source, like I said, and then also surrounding ourselves with that sacred, safe space and support system of people that are experiencing the same thing. Because when I started on my awakening, I felt like I was kind of out there, and the conversations I wanted to have were not the conversations that people were having. And I felt like if I shared things, and I still did, right? Because I'm whatever, I'm woo. I would just do it. But once I found the people that the conversations, they want to have the same conversations, we're talking about past lives and spirits and all these different things, energies, that was just a game changer to have that support. And especially in business. And everybody I attract is pretty much entrepreneurs of some sort. So the focus is not business, but this will impact your business by attending, just by getting reconnected and the connections you make there. I am a person that I have time over time, created these events over years and years before they were spiritual and personal development events, that people have literally met their significant others. They've met their business partners. They have met people that have changed their lives, because I'm just here to create the event and the space, and people come and the magic happens and the universe does the rest of the signs, synchronicities, and connections of it. So sorry, let me take a breath because I'm so passionate about it, if you can tell.
Oh, I know. And if if you feel like you're being called, right? Is Mount Shasta calling you? Is a mystical journey calling you? Is your desire to explore your spiritual awakening calling you? Maybe it's just walking through the woods, getting on a paddleboard or in a kayak. Maybe it's sipping the water and harvesting the water and doing these ritualistic experiences that are going to bring you back to self, bring you back to source, right? Bring you back to community and to others and connecting with people on that personal level again. So for so long, we've been sitting behind computers. We've been doing all of this, on our own. So if your soul longs to be connected to others, maybe this is a great experience that you could take for yourself, for your business, for your relationships, for your health, for your life. So I encourage you to drop a link I've dropped the link. Go and check it out. See if it feels like it's calling you, because I'll tell you right now, Jennifer is fabulous. She's going to be hosting a fabulous experience. I know the people I don't know all of them, but I know people connected in her network, and she just brings together the highest quality people, and you will not be disappointed if you join her on this event. So Jen, did you have any last words? I saw you with your hand up, girl. I would never leave you without some last words, baby.
You know what's funny, Kim? Right now, we're in a period of a huge spiritual awakening. So when I started my spiritual journey about 12 years ago, I felt like there was a lot of people that I was coming across that were in it. But what I see happening now, and why I'm being called to do the work that I'm doing, to create the network, to show up myself and share my spiritual journey and let myself be woo, as people might call it, is because there are so many people waking up right now. 2020 was 2020 for a reason. It's because it has opened a lot of people's eyes, like the vision, right, to what's really important in life. And a lot of people got really clear when they were sitting at home by themselves, like, shit, like, oh my God, like my anxiety, I have anxiety. I never knew this because I'm always go, go, go. And I'm not happy in my job. Wow. Hanging out with my family is the most important thing. I'm getting chills. So something's happening here. So like, we're in a mass spiritual awakening, and I'm here to hold the space for those people. And for me, what's important is for people to really have safety and be seen and heard. And so that's what I really try to do. But also, there's a lot of spiritual closetists out there, and you're probably watching this. And it's funny because when I show up and I'm my authentic self and I share how spiritual I am, and I'm talking about like the spirit clearing I had the other day that happened, that's a whole nother story. I give permission for other people to come with these gifts they have. I can't tell you how many mediums I've talked to that they're like, yeah, so I'm a medium. Nobody in my family knows, like my friends don't know. This is the place to come and to be yourself and to explore those gifts. Maybe you get intuitive hits. I believe we're all intuitive. Some come out the womb more intuitive than others. And as we open up and clear, we become more intuitive. And so when I say a spiritual closetist, it's people that are having these experiences and they don't feel like they can share it with anyone. We're your people. Like, come join us. We are going to, there's nothing too crazy that you could say. And if it is, we will hold the space for you and listen and embrace you with a big warm hug. I'm a hugger also. So yeah. I see those two things present: spiritual awakening happening, mass, and also a lot of people in the spiritual closet who believe this stuff and they have their experiences, but they don't share it because they think people are going to think they're weird. And we're being called to share these things, to normalize it, because what happens is, I said earlier, if we focus on healing and growing and learning for ourselves, we create a ripple effect, but we create more love and consciousness. And as everybody starts to awaken and we create more love and consciousness, the whole planet is changing and rising. And, could it happen overnight? Sure. Is it going to? I don't know. But I'm just here to do my part. And that is doing something like these events and running the network with also online events. So thank you for the space to share that. And I appreciate you so much.
You are welcome, of course. And I love you and I love what you're doing. And again, if you feel called to go on this experience, it's a chance for you to connect with a community of kindred spirits we're all on a similar journey of self-discovery and growth, right? You're going to share in laughter, learning, deep connection. You're going to form some lasting friendships, maybe some new business connections that'll continue forever, right? So I invite you to connect with Jen and consider taking this unforgettable adventure filled with sacred rituals, transformative experiences that'll nourish your soul and elevate your spirit. So if you are called, click the link, check it out. You feel free to connect with Jen or I and get ready to immerse yourself in a mystical world of wonder and magic.
Magic and fun. Fun and adventure is so important to me. And like you said, I made explorers because we're exploring, and guides, we're guiding the way. Like, it is such an adventure theme, and we will have fun. Like, you know, at the funniest retreats, like I'm crying my eyes out, I'll still be having fun. Like, you know, so I just like to throw that in. And then make sure you tell us if you book that you saw this video from Kim, because I would love to just give her gratitude, blessings, and for sharing and connecting. That's what we're all here to do. And there's somebody here that needed to have this information. So hopefully you feel that call to join us. We would love to have you.
Awesome. So again, get ready to immerse yourself in a mystical world of wonder and magic. If you think it's for you, click the link. We would love to see you there. And until next Tuesday, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you on your spiritual and soul-led journey. And until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and stay positive. Thanks for joining.